morning, everybody. How you doing? Sean Lutz. I'm coming to you from my studio here in Dallas, Texas. Today is November 16th, 2025. This is going to be episode number 13. Pavel Datsyuk from See the Light Sports, Detroit Red Wings NHL update. Let's just jump right into it, folks. That's kind of what we do around here. Last night, we had the Buffalo Sabres, worst team in the Eastern Conference, head into Little Caesars to square off against Detroit Red Wings, fresh off their victory, snapping our 3-game losing streak, pushing us into the wild card slot at the time. But let's just jump right into the scoring. Here we go, folks. 10:23 mark. I'm going to go real quickly because I got an early game today, but nonetheless, here we go. 10:23 mark. You had Patrick Showtime, Patty Kane. 10:23 mark. That's Detroit, a goal there. Detroit 1-0 early, but here we go with the Cardinal sin. Shift after goal, 29 seconds later, bammo, at the 10:52 mark. You had Tuck come in, tied up 1-1. Mo Sider, you were soft on that one. Sorry. But anyway, that's the way it finished after 1-1, knotted up. Heading into the second period, it's starting to look good here for our boys, man. At the 3:52 mark, you had Alex DeBrincat from Lucas Raymond giving Detroit a 2-1 lead. A couple minutes later, Dylan Larkin gets on in the action on another assist by Lucas Raymond at the 5:56 mark, giving Detroit a 3-1 lead. A few minutes later, Alex DeBrincat back up. Bam! Who got the other assists there? Yeah, you guessed it. Lucas Raymond with his third straight assist at the 8:50 mark. This was a power play goal, which was good to see, our special teams. This gave Detroit a 4-1 lead. Sitting pretty. Looking good, folks. Man, we could have used that, eh? But no, we kind of played all right. But we let down late in the period at the 17:58 mark, narrow that gap to 4-2, where it stayed 4-2 after 2. Heading into the third period, folks. This is a guy we couldn't let out, but we did. Bammo, Tage Thompson, 4:25. He narrows that gap 4-3, Detroit. And then here we go, folks. We're on the power play. Mo Sider coughs up the puck. Give him an assist here, folks. McLeod comes down and ties it up 4-4. That's 3 unanswered there from the Buffalo Sabres, worst team in the Eastern Conference. That stayed at 4-4. My blood was boiling. 4-4 after 3, heading into overtime. Here we go at the 1:03 mark. Samuelson, bam! 5-4, Buffalo in overtime. We could not let that happen, folks, and we did. And this is what we've been preaching all along. Steve Yzerman, your plan, better get her going here. Better get her going. If we're golfing in April, again, for the 10th straight year, you're getting raked over the coals, pal. I love you, but if we're not in the playoffs for the 10th year, you're not GM in here anymore. I'm sorry. Great player. Love you. But 10 years, no playoffs in Hockey Town is fucking unacceptable. So now let's move on into the other results last night. And I'm not going to go through them all, but I just want to make note that of the overtime, these are overtime games, and there were 7 teams in the Eastern Conference that got the parity point, us included. I hate getting points for losing, even if it's our team. Shouldn't get anything for losing. You lose, whether overtime, shootout, regulation, you lost. You get dick. 0 points for losing. You failed. Now, here we go. And then you had, I think Ken and Mickey mentioned it last night. It was something like 28% of the games in the NHL this season have gone to overtime. So that's showing you the parity. But anyway, let's just go quickly through these results. Obviously you had our team lose in a overtime, but those are two teams in the East giving up parity points. Now, the other scores, you had New Jersey over Washington 3-2 in a shootout. Both teams, Eastern Conference. Then you had Edmonton over Carolina 4-3 in overtime. Carolina gets the parity point. And then also in overtime, you had New Jersey and Columbus 2-1 in overtime. Both teams get the Columbus gets the parity point. And then other action, which is relevant to our playoff implications, was Boston beat Montreal 3-2. That was a good tilt, man. There was some good physical action in there, and there was also some good physical action going on in the Florida Tampa Bay. But Boston, Montreal, they were squaring off, dropping mitts. Tampa Bay and Florida, I wanted to watch that one because if you saw the last preseason game, those guys were going at it, man, like it was a seventh game of the Stanley Cup or the Eastern Conference Finals. So I wanted to tune in that one, and it didn't bore. That was a pretty decent game. But anyway, let's move on into the what we got going on in the league tonight. And this is going to be the global series from Stockholm, Sweden, and on NHL Network. So it's an early game here, 9 o'clock Eastern, Nashville at Pittsburgh, global series from Stockholm, Sweden. And then later in the afternoon, you're going to have Vancouver at Tampa Bay, 3 o'clock Eastern, Las Vegas at Minnesota, 6 o'clock Eastern, and then New York Islanders at Colorado at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. So our next game for the Detroit Red Wings are, we're on the road today. We play tonight at another back-to-back here. We play Madison Square Garden. We're squaring off against New York Rangers, who also played last night. So let's not use the second of a back-to-back as an excuse for us to lose a hockey game. We're playing a team that also played last night. Yeah, we traveled. Yeah, but this is the NHL. We got the condensed schedule to make room for the Olympics. So it's a lot of hockey. All teams are playing it. Quit making excuses. Quit being soft. Let's toughen it up here. Let's take care of business. Let's quit making excuses for losing. Excuses are for losers. We're not losers. Let's get it on. So let's move on and take a quick look. I'm not going to mention these. I'm just going to let you look and stew at them because it's frustrating. But anyway, let's take a quick peek at our the standings here in the our Atlantic Conference here. You can see the movement from the last show, and if you want to look at it, it'll be linked in here below to the previous show where we placed in the standings in all of these. But anyway, you can see how tight those are in the Atlantic. And then move this out into just looking at the conference there, the Eastern Conference. See how tight that is from the top down, man. Just winning a couple games, losing a couple games, losing a regulation win, goals for, goals against. Take a look at Detroit and our goal differential. To me, that is a little bit puzzling and something we need to look at. But and look at well, you can't see it on this slide, but you look at our last 10. We do not want to be playing 500 hockey. 500 hockey hits you on the golf course, the place we've been for the last 9 years straight. Tired of golfing in April. Take care of business. October, November. And then with this year, with the condensed Olympic schedule, you have no room to fall. It's going to be parity left and right. But anyway, that's tightened up in the conference. And then now you can look let's look at the wild card. We're now on the outside looking in, folks. All that was a day off and a couple teams playing and a loss. That's the way it works, man. Its parity is so tight. It's so tight in this league. You cannot afford to, I mean, like last night, you cannot afford to do this stuff. And it's so reminiscent of how we failed when we choked out and didn't get a regulation win in the last game of the season. Ended up being the tiebreaker going to the Washington Capitals. They play on. We had golfing. Folks, in Detroit, Hockey Town, golf bags are not the Stanley Cup. Those aren't what we want to be lifting in April. Let's end this stuff. But anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Final from last night was 5-4 in overtime. Tough loss in front of the home team, home crowd there in Little Caesars Arena. But nonetheless, it is what it is. We can get right back in business with taking care of New York Rangers tonight, which is going to be a cool original six matchup. I just love these games. But anyway, just want to say thanks for watching. Remember to be kind and nice to each other. See the light. And I'll catch you on the next one, which is going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to wrap this one up early so I can watch the game from Stockholm. Have a great day, everybody.